Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The camera's so close. Jesus. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner, and this is my review. I'm always fixing stuff in the beginning of my reviews. It's hilarious. This is the review for Having the Have Not, Season 4, Episode 17. And I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, but first things first, as you always know, I love new subscribers. So if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel, especially if you've been watching my videos for a while and you be tuning in all the time. Like, if you're going to tune in all the time, go ahead and subscribe. Get that notification. Thank you. So, yeah, the subscription doesn't cost anything. You just hit the subscribe button, and it just lets you know when I have new videos up, new content on my channel, new reviews, basically. And as I say, I love new subscribers. So, yeah, please subscribe. You can also share my videos, like the videos, and by all means there's a comment section below, so please feel free to discuss my review, the TV show, or what else your heart desires. But there is one rule: please be respectful to me and anyone else who is commenting in the comment section. No need to be rude, people. Damn. Ugh. So yeah, having the have nots, I'm not gonna fully say fuck Tyler Perry this time. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a couple good things that happened that kept my attention this whole episode. But I almost wanted to be like, fuck you, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, you play on my emotions. Tyler Perry, what happened to the good old show? Tyler Perry, why you keep playing? I ain't going to go into all of that. So we do see the episode picks right up where the last one left off, with Veronica, Erica, and David at the table. And Veronica came and sat her little ass down to have a conversation with David and Erica. And, David's like, oh my God. Because basically, Veronica is a crazy bitch. And, he has to deal with his crazy ass ex wife. And that's where the predicament that they are in currently. And he is trying to get Veronica to have a conversation with him outside of the lobby of this hotel. And Veronica's not having that. She wants to sit there and have a conversation with Erica. And we see she is asking Erica, like, baby girl. Yes, I'm moving the camera. Where are you from? She's like, I'm from my mama and my daddy. See, that's something I probably would say. I'm from my mama and my daddy. That's where I come from. Veronica then suggests that Erica go find her mama and nestle herself under her mama's titties for safety. Yes, Veronica told that lady to go find her mama's titties and get up under them like a baby, because Veronica is a goddamn on hurricane coming to wipe everything away, and Erica needs protection. And Erica like, no, I'm good. So because David see Veronica not budging, he like, come on, Erica, come on, let's go. So Veronica, no, David and Erica are walking away hand in hand, trying to get away from Veronica's crazy stuff. But Veronica swiftly gets up and she follows them to the elevator. So they all go into the elevator. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Solange. And that was the first thing I thought when I saw them getting on the elevator. So, Dave was like, Veronica, you're not getting on this elevator. And what does Veronica do? She gets on the goddamn elevator. Didn't anybody learn from Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange? You do not get on the elevator with an angry black woman. You just don't do that. I mean, especially if someone is upset because someone slept with someone else, possibly. You just don't do it. But, they get on the elevator anyway, and then Veronica's like, up, cameras. That's what I got, J and B. Now, when she said that, I giggled to myself, because I'm like, the whole time I'm right thinking to myself, yeah, I'm gonna crack a joke, because that's what it reminds me of. I guess Tyler Perry thought the same thing, or whoever you can write in the show. You know, Erica is trying to tell David just to ignore Veronica, because Veronica is just batshit crazy. She has hit the stop button, so now they're stuck. We're not stuck, but you hit the pause button on the elevator. You can't go nowhere. And Veronica won't move from in front of the buttons on the elevator so that they can get to their floor. And they are just there. Veronica is saying, all I want, David, because he's like, Veronica, what do you want? What do you want, Veronica? And she's like, all I want is to make your life a living hell. You know, she like, I don't even want much, David. I just want you to be, not happy in your life. That's all I want in life. And, I thought that was like, okay, that's what a crazy bitch was saying. And he like, well, too late, because you're already making my life a living hell. And she's like, oh, I haven't even begun. And it's just like, Veronica, yeah, they call her the ice queen. I don't think she's the ice queen. I just think she's crazy. Like, she just batshit crazy. And, Erica, no. She then says, because he's like, what do you want from me? That doesn't make any sense. She's like, I want blood. You basically embarrassed me. And he like, but you out here fucking Benny. And she's like, yeah, and I'm still sleeping with Benny. And he like, well, go be with Benny, Veronica. Go be with Benny. And she like, no, I'm still here trying to deal with you. And, I'm not going to let you embarrass me by leaving me for this hoe. Who's a hoe? You're a hoe. And it was just a very childish. This is a little bit of a part where I say fuck Tyler Perry. Because I'm like, first of all, if a person hit the button on the elevator, the security people going to say, what's wrong? You can't just hold up an elevator and no one in the hotel notices that the elevator's held up. But, that's me being logical. And as Veronica's still agitating David, Erica, petty self, young, sweet, fine thing herself, and Veronica keep looking her up and down like, okay, she's the new young girl, I'm the old ex-wife. And Erica's like, it's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. And she keeps calling him baby. I'm looking at my notes to be sure that's what she called. Yeah, she kept on calling him baby. It's like, okay, baby, it's okay. Baby, it's okay. And she's, rubbing his face, touching his face. And Veronica's looking on like, a bitch, I want to murder you. And as she's doing that, she's like, I got this. So she goes on her purse, and I'm like, is she finna shoot Veronica? What's going on? And she hits the camera. I thought, I'm like, for one, if you were trying to coyly knock the camera out so that they can't say that you purposely did it and then beat her up, you did a bad job. But anyway, she took her purse and she swings it and then knocks the camera out of focus so that the camera isn't looking at them. Okay, cool. And then Veronica's like, oh, you think I can't prove in a court of law that you hit me after the camera, turned the other way? And she's like, I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to hit you. And Veronica said, well, I want you to hit me because I've been waiting for the moment to beat your ass. Veronica's so ghetto. And she's so, Veronica just, oh, Lord Jesus. She just be offense. And, she's like, okay, you know what, Veronica, whatever. Erica then proceeds to start kissing all over David. And David is trying to, like, Erica, just stop. Just because he's not trying to provoke Veronica. Because he knows Veronica batshit crazy. Erica is ghetto crazy. Not even crazy. She's just, in her real self is like, a hood chick. So she's like, I can handle this woman. This woman, she just old and mean. So she's kissing all over David. And Veronica's whispering, get off him. Get off him. Because she's kissing on him. They, moving around the elevator, kissing and stuff. And David is saying, stop, Erica. Trying to get her to stop. But he's also smiling and enjoying it. So Veronica is seeing David enjoy this woman kiss on him and call him baby and put smiles on his face. And it's just, and she's still whispering, get off him. Get off him. Get off him, bitch. And then the goddamn tussling fight ensues. It's a whole Jay-Z, Beyonce, Solange mess all over, except we could hear what was going on in the elevator. He got Veronica on one side, he got Erica on the other side, and they tussling back and forth, and he's in the middle trying to keep them apart. I would have let them fight. Give Erica a good 13 seconds to tussle with Veronica, or give Veronica a good 13 seconds to tussle with Erica. I don't know. But it was funny seeing him trying to keep them apart. And I think he was trying himself not to laugh. But it was just a funny scene for me. And then as they're fighting, Veronica screaming, no, let me beat her ass. Let me beat her ass. And it was a funny scene. I mean, it was a serious scene. Like, it didn't seem, well, it was fake. But it didn't seem like not believable funny. It was just funny because I'm like, these heifers is on the damn elevator doing a Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange fight. It was just funny. So eventually, because they're tussling, David was able to get them separated. We then hear David, I think he like hit the button to make the elevator not be on hold. When security then calls, hey, this is security, what's wrong with elevator 7, blah 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 blah. And he like, we stuck, get somebody down here. And when that happens, she's like, okay, we gonna reset it and it'll start over. Veronica, all crazy stuff. Help! Help! They beating me. David, don't hit me no more. And I'm like, where did Veronica is Veronica bad shit. Veronica and Jackie Christie from Basketball Wives should just have a TV show together. They both bad shit crazy. And she's screaming, hey, don't beat me, David. Get off me. So David is holding Erica and they're in a corner as Veronica kind of tossing herself around this elevator. And it was comical because Veronica is fucking nuts. And the elevator doors open and she's like, she falls to the floor. Oh my God. David, get off me. Get off me, David. And she's screaming and hollering, and Erica and like, you was crazy. You are crazy. And her and David get off the elevator. We see a security guard walk up. And he's like, ma'am, do you need help? And she's like, well, you late now. But she composed herself and get up, pick up herself, and walk off the elevator. I mean, that's why I say halfway fuck Tyler Perry, but not really fuck Tyler Perry, because it was a good scene. But at the same time, I'm like, anywho, next, this is another scene that I like. Y'all know I like Charles, who was I first called Charles the fake Barack Obama because that's who he reminds me of, since he is a young black person who's a senator running for president, and but they call him Charles. His other side is his other side is Chucky. His real name is Charles. I used to call him the fake Barack Obama. His other ghetto crazy side is Chucky. So we see Chucky, in his room, and him and Landon are going over like a speech he has to make, and Landon keeps correcting him. Chucky don't like that. Chucky don't like that because every time Landon corrected him, he looked over like, "Who the fuck you think you talking to, man?" And he's like, I've been studying your speeches, and this is the things that can help you because you won the nomination as a senator. I'm trying to make you be presidential. So it was a couple words that he would have changed that Charles was using. But he like, you know what? You've been fucking with me all day. That ain't the word that you used. But that's what he basically said. You've been riding my coat. You've been riding me all day. What's the issue? Why you keep, why you fucking with me, man? You know what I'm saying? That was Chucky. So he like, well, I'll talk to you about it when we alone. So Charles excuses everyone so that him and Landon can have a conversation. Landon then, as they're talking in private, he's trying to tell basically the reason I'm trying to be on you is because Candace is dangerous. He's like, do you know who she is? Do you know she's bad news? And he's trying to run down, Candace's whole rap sheet to Charles as if Charles don't already know. So he's like, you hired me to, handle things like this. He's like, I didn't hire you. So-and-so hired you. His people, basically. And he's like, she was wanted for murder. She used to be a prostitute. She's known to blackmail people. And Charles is like, okay. And he's not fazed because he already knows it. And Landon kind of keeps pushing the issues. And every time he do, Charles is like, okay. I mean, Charles is playing the cool as ice. Every time Landon say, I'm here to redo things. I'm here to make things better. I'm here to help you be president. And he brings up the escort stuff. He pulls up the website where it shows that she used to be an escort. And Charles is like, yeah, that's from years ago. Okay. He's like, so you know the stuff that you have her vetted? And he was like, no. And he's like, did y'all sleep together? He's like, yeah. And then he's like, well, did y'all, did you sweep a room beforehand? He was like, no. And he was just cool as motherfucking, just as a sweet tea on a hot day. He was just cool, like, ice going down your throat. I'm like, he cool as a motherfucking cucumber. And Landon is kind of surprised, like, because he's throwing these things at him, saying things, and he's like, whatever, what are you talking about? So he just keeps saying, okay. Charles then tells Landon, you clean up stuff, right? You here to clean up my image to make me, be presidential and stuff. And he's like, yeah. So he was like, all right, that's your new job. Clean her up. Landon's like, what? What? He's like, that's your new job. Your new job is to clean her image up. All the stuff that you just named to me, everything that you just said to me, that's your, no. Landon said to Charles, are you defending her? And he said, no, that's your job. Then he said, it's your job to clean up her image, to do damage control, to make me be able to have her around. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah. So, that's your job. You're good at it. So do it. Bottom line, point blank, period. And he's like, oh yeah, I might want her to bring her to my inauguration. And he's like, that's crazy. What are you talking about? And he's like, hey, do your job. That's your job. Do it. Bye. Go ahead on. And, Chucky pulls rank. He's like, what I'm saying? Chucky is an alpha male. Okay? Whether he's Chucky, Charles, or the fake Barack Obama, he's an alpha male. And he's like, look, I told you what the fuck to do. Now do it. Is basically what he said. I liked it. So Landon's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Landon leaves out the room. He closes the door. He pulls out his phone. And he proceeds to call the damn police to tell them where Candace is. Jesus. He called in an anonymous tip to, so-and-so is in the room. Candace is, the person you're looking for, Candace, she's in room whatever at this hotel. You a real snitch out in these streets? You a whole snitch, Landon? A whole snitch? The president nominee just told you what to do, and you gonna be a whole snitch out in these streets? But he doing it thinking he's saving Charles from going through all the mayhem, not knowing Charles gonna fuck you up, dog. Chucky gonna check you. But we shall see. They have a whole scene where it's Wyatt talking to the girl who was like the nurse aide doctor within his rehab stuff. I don't really care about that much, honestly, because for me, the two scenes they had together was just them. It was just them showing them talking, them building up some kind of relationship. That's basically all it was. But for me, it wasn't worth even going over. The one thing I would mention that she said to him that I thought was a good scene between them two is we see where Wyatt is having that urge to get high. He's having that itch. And she says to him, okay, you need to figure out something to do when you feel like getting high. Do you want to exercise? What do you want to do? Because you're going to have to find something to keep yourself occupied when that urge comes to get high. That's very true for any addict. So I will, talk about that a little bit. Because the thing is, when you are an addict for anything, the best way to break your habit of that is to do something else in place of it. For instance, for me, I used to smoke cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for 10 years, and I stopped smoking 7 years ago. I've been smoke free. But the thing that I did to help me stop smoking, because every morning, smokers, every morning you get up and you have a cigarette. You get in your car to drive to work, you have a cigarette. You have things that you do every time you smoke a cigarette. So for me, when I got up in the morning, instead of having a cigarette, I started cutting on the news to listen to the news. I would get in my car, instead of getting a cigarette, I would call someone to have a phone conversation. I kept having to replace what I did for smoking a cigarette with something different. And it worked for me. I also told myself that cigarettes did not exist, and that's why I ended up stopped buying them. Because I quit cold turkey. I just one day just stopped because I think I had one left. I smoked my last one, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can go a day without smoking. It was hard. So yeah, being an addict is hard. So the hardest part is figuring out what else to do instead of doing that addiction. So instead of smoking a cigarette, I watch the news in the morning. Even now, 7 years later, I cut music on. I do something else beside think about a cigarette. And, for me, it worked. So I like how that was a real moment in addiction, basically, to tell an addict, you have to think of something to do when you get that urge. Because if not, you're going to get high. You're going to smoke that cigarette. And, that's what it is. So, yeah. We also see Mama Rose call Jim. This is another scene when I was like, it was so, minuscule, who cares? We see Mama Rose call Jim. They're both still looking for War. He says he hasn't found him. She says she also hasn't found him. But she's still pissed off. He reminds her, well, I used to help you out. I've helped out, your family when I was a judge, things like that. And she's like, but I helped you too. Meaning, she know where the bodies is buried. So they both just said how they helped the other one, basically. Um, and that was kind of it. And she just said, I'm going to have to teach you a lesson. He's like, can you tell me what you're going to do? And she's like, no, no. And then she hangs up the phone. So, yeah, that was that whole scene, and that was it. We do see Hannah at the police station. Of course, she's looking for Benny. She can't get any information. She asked to see Justin, because remember Justin gave her his card when he was looking for Candace the first time. And Justin comes out. He basically tells Hannah, Quincy. Benny's being held, basically for the murder of Quincy. He's being questioned right now, but it looks like he's going to be charged. He also tells her he's been questioned by the Secret Service, and she's like, what? The Secret Service? What? And Hannah's nerves is so bad because, the baby just got killed. This is all, just so much on her. And she's like, what? What? Not, Benny wouldn't do that. And he's like, well, that's what's going on right now, so you should probably get a lawyer. She calls Catherine. Of course, Catherine is like, I'm going to be there. I can't believe it. I'm on the way. I did call our lawyer. He's in court right now, but he'll be down there. So that's that whole scene. We then see Benny, who's still being told that he's being held under federal restriction, and he can't leave. The guy did let Benny use his phone because he told Benny, because Benny like, I need to use the phone. I need to call my mom. It's an emergency. And he's like, well, you can't leave, but he let him use his phone. He calls Hannah. Of course, Hannah don't answer. So he then calls Mitch and tells Mitch, my mom is here. I need you to come get her and take her, take her somewhere, but get her from here. And Mitch is like, well, I don't know if I can come right now. Like, not right now. Because my grandma tripping, his grandma is Mama Rose. He's like, something's big happening. I don't know what it is, but, it's something going on. So I'm trying to see what's going on. But as soon as I finish here, I'll go get your mom. Cool. Bam. Done. The agent who is holding Benny just says to him, you're being railroaded. I don't know what you did, kid, but you pissed somebody off in, high places and they're railroading you. We don't know who it is or what's going on. I think Charles is trying to save Candace and he going to set her brother up for it. Because that's the only thing, your sister fucking the presidential nominee and then the brother gets arrested for a murder. Come on now. That's what it is. And it's going to be a thing of Candace going to either have to save herself or her brother. Bottom line. We see Erica phone ringing. She's in bed with David. She sneaks into the bathroom. It's really Candace calling. Candace is calling basically to ask her to get her a new phone because, as we know, last episode Charles took all her phones, so she has no phone, and she's asking Erica, does she still have a hookup on cell phones? Erica, old sneaky ass, is still trying to figure out where Candace is because that's what War is trying to find out too. Luckily for us, Candace got smart and she stopped letting Erica know where she was. But every time Erica's saying, "Where are you, girl? Where you at?" And she's like, Candace kept changing the subject, or she was like, "Why do you care? What's up? Oh, I want to see you in person and tell you what happened between, me and David and Veronica." And she's like, "Well, what happened?" She does let her know it was a whole fight in the elevator thing. It was kind of crazy, but me and David both went off on Veronica. And Candace warns her, don't underestimate Veronica. She's a whole different level that you're not even ready for. And then when Candace said, "Where's David?" And she's like, "Oh, he's in the bed. He's asleep. I snuck away." She's like, "Can he hear you?" And she's like, "No, he's asleep." And she was like, "Erica, get off the phone. I've helped you this far. Listen to me. Get off the phone." Meaning you think you getting over on him and you think he's asleep. He probably woke and he listening to your ass because David is sneaky. So we do see her hang up the phone or whatever. The last thing that we see is Jeffrey is going to the bar. Landon is at the bar too. And, they are, "Hey, what's up? Oh, hey, man, whatever. And Landon wants a piece of Jeffrey's pie. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be on Team Jeffrey. And he's been drinking a little bit, so he's already drunk. And he is basically coming on Jeffrey, and Jeffrey not even with it. If you remember, when Landon was on there before, Jeffrey did sleep with him once, but Jeffrey still didn't like Landon. Landon is like that clingy type of guy who you sleep with once, and he not really all that in the bed, and you probably was. So then he thinks if he keep making sexual remarks, it'll make you want to sleep with him, and it kind of just turn you off. that's what Landon was doing. He was talking about how sexy Jeffrey's body was and how cute his butt was. It was a turn off. Jeffrey was like, just wasn't having it. And his sexual talk was just nasty. So, they did have one drink at the bar together. Jeffrey's like, look, I'm going to my room. I'm done with this or whatever. Because Landon is saying, you were the best I ever had in bed. You were so good. And Jeffrey's like, I didn't even know what I was doing. He's like, and so that means you're even better now. And Jeffrey's like, man, look, whatever. I'm not trying to have this conversation. And he's like, look, I'm going to go to your room. We're going to just do some things. And Jeffrey's blowing him off like, man, look, I'm going to my room. You stay here and leave me alone. But Landon's following him. And I'm like, Justin ain't going to like this. You better get off Justin's man meat. Don't play with that boy's man. Justin don't play about Jeffrey. But Landon is following him to the elevator. He basically tries to rape Jeffrey on the elevator. Jeffrey like, stop, Landon, get off me. And Landon like, look the camera down. I'm not trying to play. I'm going down on something. I'm not. You gonna just offer to suck that man dick on camera? You gonna just do that, Landon? And Jeffrey is basically, he like, man, you drunk. Stop. And he's like, Landon's like, Jeffrey, please, just 5 minutes. Let's do it for 5 minutes. And it was just funny because I'm like, Landon out here in these streets trying to rape Jeffrey on the elevator, and Jeffrey just having to push him off like, man, you drunk. Stop. Not a real rape. He was a drunk person just kind of hanging all on him, touching on him. He didn't like try to force Jeffrey to do, well, he kind of did, but it wasn't like, real rape. Let's be clear, it's TV fakeness. So Jeffrey like, man, get off me. They get to it off the elevator. Jeffrey still saying, get off me, go on somewhere, stop playing, I'm going on by myself, leave me be. Landon, who's drunk, all hanging on Jeffrey, and Jeffrey still like, man, stop. Jeffrey opens the door to his room, and Landon, kind of hugs on him and is messing with him, and Jeffrey's like, man, stop. Cut on the goddamn lights. And who is in the bed naked? Justin. And Landon's like, what the hell? Because why is it a white naked man in your bed? And Jeffrey's like, oh, my God. And that was just like, first of all, that means now Justin going to have to kill Landon because Landon seen the naked in the bed. It was just crazy. And, that's how that scene went off. The last scene of the episode is we see a white van pull up, open the back doors, push a body out, and pull off. You see a woman walk up and see what just fell out this truck, and there was a dead body. And she's like, ah! And she screams, and they zoom in on the body, and of course, who is it? It's D.A. Salison. And so it's a note that says her name, Jennifer Salison, whatever her name is. And, it says crier victim. Mama Rose ain't playing. Jim, you want to play with me? I'm going to drop this dead body off of the woman that your wife killed in your house. And, let the cars fall where they may. And that was the end of the episode. So, it was a good episode per se. It could have been better. So that's why I said I'm not going to fully say fuck Tyler Perry. But still, fuck Tyler Perry a little bit. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Next week's episode does look good. They do bring up the dead body, but let's hope the preview wasn't all the good parts pulled into one 30-second clip. Let's hope that's not what's going to happen next week. So, thanks for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Share my video, like my video, throw a comment down there, but be respectful. Until next time, people. Peace.